Hey everyone, I'm going to go over a basic tutorial on how to use track wrestling. I'm going to go over how to search for athlete profiles, how to search tournaments, how to pull up brackets, how to read those brackets, and how to manage your athlete's profile. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in track wrestling into the search bar. And the track wrestling website will pop up. You can go ahead and click on it. And this is going to be the home screen for track wrestling. There's often ads throughout the page. A lot of the things down here are extras that you don't necessarily need. What you're going to use is going to be up here in this menu bar. And first we're going to go ahead and start out with how to search for athlete profiles. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to come up to the top menu bar and you're going to hit on the little magnifying glass that says Browse. When you do that, on the left-hand column, you're going to see some options, and you're going to go ahead and click on Profiles. Over here on the right-hand side, you'll then click on Search Athletes. It's going to pop up with a track wrestling member list. You need to go ahead and click Search, and a little box is going to pop up. If you happen to know your child's track wrestling number, you can always search it that way. I don't know my son's offhand, so I go ahead and just put his first name and his last name into the search bar. And when I do this, it gives me his track wrestling number here, and you'll need that for later to manage your athlete's profile. So when you get to this page, you can go ahead and click on your child, and it's going to bring you to their track wrestling homepage. This is going to show you their wins and their losses, their pins, techs, majors, their rank value, and the last time that they were ranked, the date of that. It shows you when their stats were valid from. And if you scroll down even further, it's going to show you guys their track record. So it's going to show you all of the tournaments they've ever entered in. It's going to show you what weight class and what age group, and it's going to tell you what place they got here. Further down, you're going to see significant wins. This kind of helps determine the amount of stars and the rank value your child has. So any significant wins will go down in this area. So another thing we're going to go ahead and go over is how to search for tournaments. So you're going to do the same thing you did for athletes for their profiles, except for instead of choosing profiles this time, you're going to go ahead and choose tournaments. When you do that, a whole list of tournaments is going to pop up. Thousands and thousands of pages are going to pop up. What you're going to have to do is go ahead and manually search for your event by clicking Search Event. A box will pop up. I'm going to use this weekend's wrestling meet as an example. You're going to go ahead and type in where you're going, the start date, and get in the habit of doing the state only because on mobile devices it requires you to do that. Some mobile devices. You don't need to do the rest of it. Really, you just need the event name, the start date, and the state that it's in. And you can go and press search. Here you'll see that your tournament popped up. So you can go ahead and click on the tournament, and it's going to ask you to enter into the event. Once you're into a track wrestling tournament event, this is what it will look like. You have options up here as well as on the side. You can choose any of the ways you want to get to it. It does not matter. So go ahead and click on brackets. Here it's going to ask you for the weight class. This is important for you to know where your child weighed in at. I'll use my son as an example. He's in the 7-8 age group. So you can see here there's age group 5-6, 7-8, 9-10, and so forth going down the line. So my son is a 61-pounder in the 7-8 age group. When I click that, their bracket is going to pop up. So I can see that for Farwell on Saturday, for the 7 and 8 age group at the 61-pound weight bracket, they are going to be on mat 2. That is going to be all day, so all day they will wrestle on mat 2. Now that we have been able to search and pull up a weight bracket, I'm going to show you how to read the weight bracket. So what happens is your child and other children are going to be listed into the bracket, and this is a full bracket. There are two different types of brackets. I'll show you what a round robin bracket looks like after this. So my son's name is Braden. You can see here that his first match, he is on the top here, is going to be against Richard from Tri-Valley. Something cool that track wrestling offers is you can click on the child's name and it will bring you to their track wrestling profile. There you can see exactly what you can access on your own child's profile. You can see their record. You can see their track record of tournaments and wins, significant wins, etc., to kind of get an idea of who your child's wrestling. And the way this works is my child is going to go against Richard in the first match that he faces. They are going to be match number 7. You can see that here. The number that's located next to your child's name, that is the match number. So Braden and Richard are going to wrestle on mat 2, match 7. If Braden wins, he's going to move up to this section of the bracket here, and he will go on match 28. You can see the number again of the match that's going to be right next to it. And then he will face whichever child wins from these two. That winner will move up in the bracket, and vice versa, the loser will move down. So the loser of match 7 will come here, and the loser of match 8 will come here. And it will follow in consecutive order all the way down. You can see the loser of 27 will come here, loser of 28 comes here, and this bracket is split up. If you have any other questions about how to read that full bracket, feel free to find a secretary, a coach, or a veteran parent. They'd be happy to help walk you through if you have any further questions on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to read a round robin bracket. And what you're going to do is go back to searching the bracket. I'm still in Farwell's event. So I'm going to go over to bracket menu. I happen to know offhand which one was a round robin, so this is just the one I chose. You can see that it's still Nemaw, week 1 in Farwell. For the 5-6 age group at 37 pounds, they also happen to be on mat 2. And you can see here that the brackets are set up much differently than a full bracket was. And the reason they do this is because there was not enough children in this bracket. As you can see, there's only 4 children in this bracket. And that won't be enough kids to create a full bracket. So this is what's called a round robin. And what that means is your child will go against everybody else that's in the bracket. And they will determine the first, second, and third place winners by the amount of losses that you have, the amount of wins that you have, and the points that you have. So they'll put you in order here. So you can still see what match number they are. So they're 15 on this one, 14 on this one. And the winner will come here on this line. And then round 2, your child will wrestle again. And then round 3, your child will wrestle again. So you can see Bay County wrestles here, round 1. They wrestle here in round 2, and they wrestle here in round 3. So again, if you have any questions on how to read brackets, please feel free to reach out to somebody. We'd be happy to help further give you instructions on that. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I am going to show you guys how to manage athlete profiles. So you're going to need your child's track wrestling number in order to manage their profile. And a good way to get that is you can go back to browse up here and search athlete profiles like I went over in the beginning, and just go ahead and copy and paste the track wrestling number in. So when you get into member login, you're going to go to manage up here, you'll go to profiles, and it'll bring you to this member login page. Once you're in the member login page, for my new wrestling families, what you're going to have to do is complete a password reset request, because our secretaries have set up your child's wrestling profile for you. So you will need to go ahead and request a password. So you'll go ahead and paste in your child's track wrestling number. You're going to do their date of birth. And what I'm doing is just going ahead and putting in an alias. So here you'll put your first name, your last name, your email address, and what's your relationship to the child. And then you'll submit the request. It's not going to allow me to do it because my child already has their information in. I can't reset it. I've done it too many times today. But it will let you submit the request when you enter in their information. What will happen is a little box will pop up here that'll tell you it's been sent to your email and to check it. Within a few hours, you'll get an email that's going to ask you to change the password. From there, you will be able to go in and actually log in You'll use their track wrestling and then whatever password you've chosen, and then you'll submit your request. And when you go ahead and submit your request, you will be entered into their track wrestling profile, and you will be able to manage all of their information, change their first and last name if needed, if spelled wrong, etc. You can also go ahead and add a picture onto their track wrestling profile. So I think we went over everything that you guys need to know, all the basics for track wrestling. If you guys need anything else and you're not clear on something and you need more guidance, please seek out, again, one of the coaches or secretaries, and they'd be happy to help you.